Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry if there's any technical difficulties because like sort of like a one man operation. But welcome everybody. Uh, yeah, welcome to another one of our parties. Another one of our parties. Sorry, podcast. Today we're discussing how my wife, Mary, uh, how much of a impact she's had in like everything. First we'll explain what everything is, but how much of an impact her life and her conversion and everything sort of kind of affected uh, our pursuit of what everything is. So I'll let you take it away.
No, there's not really much to like. So yeah, this podcast is centered around culture and trying to uh, make way for Islam to like move forward or like to bring Islam forward. And so I think like culture is a part of navigation. Well, it's part of navigating. Sorry. So part of our story is navigation of culture and you know allowing Islam to really go through. So that's why I felt like it's okay, like for us to like for me to be on. It's not like I'm asking permission, but it's just like to bring a different dimension to the conversation about culture's impact. So that's why I think we're also here together.
Yeah, I think because handling your culture, just shifting from South Asian culture to I would say more like secular culture, then having to go back and forth on the fly was kind of like a it helped shaping it helped shaped not helped but it shaped how we would tackle every culture from an Islamic lens, right? So I think and you'll give us a rundown of from the start.
Yeah, so I personally I don't like to do like full convert stories because I do think like it's a very private, like it involves people other than me in it. So I just basically go from like very few points, I guess, because that's what I have learned from my experience sharing. It's just not about people's reaction, but just like a timeline, I guess. But yeah, like
Mm.
I um worked in a like a environment where like there was a lot of Muslims there, so was witness.
Canadian Tire, shout
Yeah,
out.
I witnessed like Ramadan a little bit, and then somehow I just was inclined to reach.
Somehow it's crazy.
Huh?
Sorry,
Yeah,
okay.
I decided I was drawn towards like contacting, communicating with you about like advice
Okay,
about.
what drew you?
Wait,
Sorry. But
wait.
I'm watching, I'm listening as like the audience, right? So as the audience kind of has questions as you're going on, I'm gonna try to ask it. Like, so
Oh,
if
okay.
you say, "Oh, I was kind of drawn," I wanna like, I'm sure the audience wants to know what drew you to him. Like, why me?
Yeah,
When
no.
there was tons of Muslims
Yeah, you're
around.
just so you like I tell everybody this story, right? Like friends that, know us. But it's just that you were very too calm for my liking. Like it's a little bit off centered from like it was really weird for like the fast paced job that you were in. Like really handling like everything really calmly. But you also appeared like
Boyish.
no. Yeah, it was just like let me reach out to this outsider like for the information that I needed. It was just uh
Or you think as an outsider, I would have given unbiased information?
yeah, because there was work drama. It was a question about a work
What
environment.
was the question? Say the question.
It's just I felt uncomfortable with a non-Muslim and his approach on religion. So I was just asking you like what do you think about this guy with a different religion, not talking about God? How would you go about it? But I didn't. I just felt like I didn't want to name. like I could name drop with you because you were not part of that clique, right? So it was like a safe.
Okay, hold on, before that, this thing is wild.
It was this.
Yeah, go on.
It was a safe. Yeah, it was a safe way to, or was like a yeah. Let's. And I think because you were a mystery man, if people can, if, I don't know if you could put a photo up, but it just there's a lot that there's on to uncover. There's a lot to uncover here. You know, like something is something I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't pick it. Yeah, like something is like I don't know if you were like, oh, calm down. It's okay, calm down a little bit. Little cute moment. The top is.
I was working so hard.
I don't know. Okay, Fadi, like what's going on? You edit this?
Yeah. I would edit it.
Yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah. So yeah, basically
there's a lot to uncover.
Yeah, there's a lot to uncover. There's a lot to uncover. This guy is too calm. Let's figure it out. Like I like but I really just wanted advice on a particular person, which is so interesting that Allah put me in the like Allah wanted like the perfect question. So there was a perfect question to attach to you based. Can you explain this for me?
Yeah, like so it was like
I'll be
the
doing a
question.
little-
The
yeah.
question was about a boyfriend. Okay, so this was before she was Muslim. The question was regarding a boyfriend. So it was regarding, okay, is this guy a potentially good boyfriend, right? And at that time, I wasn't. This was my like introduction into these type of conversations. Like I wasn't used to. I was like completely naive. I was completely like I wasn't aware of much of the world apart from my own problems. Like it was none of that, right? So the question when she came to me with the question of, okay, is this guy is he going to be a great boyfriend? My like natural reflex wasn't to be like, oh yes or no, because I knew him because I worked with him. It was like, what do you think is a good boyfriend? Like why
yeah.
like why are you inquiring about something that I didn't believe? I didn't scrutinize, or I didn't judge, or I didn't do anything. I just wanted to genuinely know what's a good boyfriend, because to me a boyfriend was kind of like a backwards concept. Like it was like, why would, like, you don't have commit to me, right? That was the initial thought in my head. Why between a boyfriend and girlfriend you just have commit? That's like you're grossly disrespecting the other person and their time and their value and their respect and who they are. So I asked, was like, okay, what's a like, I don't think there anybody can be a good boyfriend. Like if somebody is a boyfriend, I don't think there's a good boyfriend.
But how
Right?
did you answer it?
Mine was like, what?
How do you trust the person? That was
Yeah,
the
because that was my thought process. How do you trust somebody who doesn't fully commit?
no. You asked broad questions.
Yeah.
What is commitment and what is trust? But it
Yeah.
wasn't like in a, it was
Yeah.
just in
Inquisitive.
yeah.
It was inquisitive. It was like a conversation between coworkers. It wasn't like I was on it like, yo, my boyfriend, girlfriend, it's haram in Islam and blah blah blah. Like
You were warm enough for me to even warm enough. You were like
that was just the. I'm joking.
yeah, you were friendly enough, calm enough. Like it was just very chill vibes. Hipster.
Yeah, it was like that was the starting point of the dawah, right? That was the starting point of, okay, very first thing is your character, right? So before even Islam or the conversation of Islam or anything that type kind of comes into question, the effort of your character has to be done, right? I was just displaying Islam. Yeah, I had a beard. Sometimes I was topi, and like sometimes it was just, I prayed. Yeah, I was covered my head. I prayed at work. Yeah, there was displaying of Islam there, and I made sure that I tried to pray every time, and I was punctual. But there was no conversation on Islam. Like my Islam was there, but my character is what was shown. Like I tried to be the best employee to help everybody. I used to bring Timbits for the customer service girls, right? And
I wasn't there.
yeah, she wasn't a customer service girl, but that did help other people learn about Islam. There were customer service girls who I said, look, I can't shake hands with you. I can't. So they joked around and be like, oh, can you open the door for me? Like it was like a very like like a fluid kind of relationship, and everything like like the reason I say fluid is because it kind of went into Islam very fluid, right? We started off with a boyfriend girlfriend with the discussion on it. We were like, okay, I don't think you should aim for a boyfriend girlfriend. Then the question moved on to should you have the same religion, right?
No, that was my focus. Okay,
Okay.
that was like, it was just this guy's like, yeah, he made a fun of religion, and I just like, it really scared me. That's why I approached you. But it was like the boyfriend. Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's all kind of because it's been 10 years, so I really don't know. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
what I remember
but
with
you did
these.
not put you never you yeah, you never mentioned Islam. I think I don't know how we got there.
Like, I
Well,
don't think I wore
I didn't
Islam.
know how we got there because I was 3 months prior I was searching into religion anyways.
Yeah.
But I I don't know how we got into the
I didn't wear Islam on my sleeve. I didn't like openly, like, that wasn't my focus when I was interacting with people. It was my intention. My intention obviously was, okay, I would wish everybody would have Islam, right? But I didn't interact with this mentality that the person I'm talking to should accept Islam. My interaction with the person I'm talking to should get, because of me, should get, yeah, to be in, should be in a state of clarity and ease. Once somebody is in that state, then you can start contemplating, like, spiritually and emotionally, where you should be, what you can do and cannot do.
you gave me material that I like, not material, like so you gave me answers and I wanted like I latched on to this idea of commitment. Like I really liked that marriage concept because it's not taught. My parents never taught why you marry in the first place, or like the commitment behind marriage, and you don't just leave them. In a boyfriend and girlfriend, you can just dip. Whereas marriage is just like, wow, like, because you live your whole childhood all the way till 19. Um, this misconception, like, I don't know, like, even the ring, like, I really, I didn't like, what's like I don't know, I just was so naive to this concept of marriage, so that really, like, whoa, like, I see, like, it just clicked a lot of things for me. So that's the journey of
Yeah, and that, I think that kind of summarizes the first initial point, where we don't, even amongst ourselves, between Muslim to Muslim, believer to believer, I think we should have this similar approach, right? Like, we shouldn't directly, we should understand one another, right? Make sure that when you're conversing with one another, you're there for each other's benefit, right? Not what you want not what you want the other person to be, or where you want the other person to be, right? Obviously, in my head, I would love for everybody to be Muslim. I would love it that everybody around me is just a Muslim, like, the way we understand it, that, the way it is. But in reality, and that the first one, when we met, this was like just a process. It took me a while to develop sort of credibility around the workplace, which made people comfortable enough to have chats. And then when those chats occurred, we went on to, from commitment discussions and boyfriend and girlfriend religion,
yeah,
which when we went to start talking about Christianity and Islam.
yeah, yeah.
And do you want to highlight what type of conversations were those?
No, like, I don't want in the uh man, 10 years ago, funny you
I remember things. You
funny.
want me to say? I remember. I don't know. I remember a large there.
Okay,
I'm sure you remember it.
but the point is we have to get to the marriage part because
But I
about
think the
culture.
second part is very important. Yeah, but understanding how we tackle culture, the second portion is very important. It's like two part to it. When we got to the spiritual conversation, Christian and Islam,
Yeah.
and you felt comfortable enough to have like conversations on Jesus,
Yeah.
Isa alayhi salam,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I'm very passionate about that.
because we branched off from, like, how should partners be in a marriage.
Yeah.
When we, the triangle example that I'm sure all the couples now give, but the OG, the OG before all these couples that were online, we had like conversations on the subway benches,
Gosh.
right?
No, like, we yeah, after workplace, going to public split. Yeah, that's boundaries. Sorry. So yeah, like to have discussions about Islam and like or
Yeah,
conversations we would do it in public space. Because I only understood the commitment part of it, like that
yeah.
foundational boundaries. Like it was never sugar coated. Like it was very authentic. Like he was authentically Muslim. Like he just there like
You didn't have easy questions. Like you're talking about a question, but she didn't have like normal questions. Like one of your questions was, why? Because it has an opinion. Like why can't men and women be like without boundaries with one another? Like, so why can't we just touch? Why can't we just high five or shake hands? Or why can't we do any of these things? Right? These are like heavily inquisitive questions. These aren't like everyday questions,
Mm,
right? So these type of discussions are absolutely necessary
mm,
because we need to know the why of these things.
yeah.
I couldn't have just said, "Oh, because Allah said so."
Mhm.
Right? Now, alhamdulillah, I know a bit better. I know, like, at that time, yeah, I gave a specific answer and it was good. It was, alhamdulillah, it was okay. Now I know better. I know I'm studied a bit more. I've learned a bit more from my teachers. Now it's a little bit different. But, like, you had a list of all these questions of, like, oh, why do we do wudu?
How did you know how the Prophet ﷺ looks?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I was prepped because of the dua I've made like prior to meeting you, right? Like I've already made like Jesus does like praying to Jesus doesn't make sense. It's getting me further away from you, Allah, well, God at the time, but like it's getting me further away. Like please, like I'm asking for guidance. So I've already, Allah had already, He accepts your duas of like seeking guidance. So like everything I was like very thirsty and hungry, I guess, hungry for knowledge right away and like all of that. So yeah, and I didn't
Yeah.
have fear to get close to God.
Yeah.
Like I knew like like your grandparents but I'm like I never it just diving into it didn't really there was not like a whole lot of fear, and you were scared probably like I don't know.
For me, this was like a first time. Like,
It was really yeah. Anyways, I think like as we were walking, I'm like I have to tell you like. Anyways, this is like how I was telling to humble myself. Like no, but I was down to convert. Like already, there's a whole process. Like it was a sister. Anyways, I don't know where we're going. But
yeah, there was a whole process. I could only go, for example, after the talks that we had, and she was convinced, right? Then she came to me and she's like, "Okay, I want to convert. I want to do it." Right? So I was like, "Great." So I got in touch with the local masjid. I was like, "Okay, I have somebody," which was just like a funny snippet. I when I spoke to.
no. But before that, you introduced sisters. Okay, let's talk about the
No, I think
sisters.
it was after that.
No, no,
After you converted, because then I couldn't go further.
no, no, no,
Are you sure?
no. I know it's before.
Okay, so
Yeah,
okay.
how did they get there? Yeah, they gave me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Okay,
okay, yeah. So
okay.
before,
So
yeah,
we
go ahead.
so we need to talk about sisters
Yes.
helping me. So Fahad like knew he wanted like he's like if you're really like interested in Islam, right? Like he wanted to
By the way, shout out to the two sisters. You guys know who you are.
yeah.
It means a lot. I don't think you guys know, but it means a lot. What she'll say. Sorry.
Okay.
This is all going in.
Okay, so yeah, so okay, so yeah, Fahad's like, I want you to like, if you're interested, if you're interested in Islam, call these numbers. No, but it's like, so yeah, he was just like, yeah, like I want you to, see a woman's perspective, what they have to go through day to day, so he introduced me to like these two sisters, and they walk in, and like I've had my first impressions, but I was just like it is overwhelming. I think at that particular time to see like abayas that was as a convert that's like really overwhelming. But obviously that is just they came authentically themselves, and they're really like super bubbly, and like they had passions in them, and they were really like their career paths. It was just like all of the stereotypes that I've had about Muslims completely shattered, because I think in in all honesty, I think like Fahad, like he had the big beard, and like he was really naive. Like he just my
Hmm.
first impression of you, you just put a backpack. You didn't put it in a locker. Like he just was like a little bit, like sheltered, because I think you didn't also go through the
Yeah, I didn't go. I
schooling
did.
path, right? Like
Yeah,
but to see sisters just like going to, I was really naive, like they're oppressed and things like that, but they just when they just were so like warm and like just it was I don't know, I think there's a lot of like things, the walls, yeah.
I think being in the presence of people who are doing it, who are doing what you want to accomplish,
Mm.
kind of eases a little bit of your own anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, okay, these sisters are practically living it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means it's possible. Like I can get there too,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it takes away some of the anxiety.
Yeah, they were just so happy, like just cute.
Yeah,
Not cute, but
that's why company is a little bit really important, and that's why we'll later down there we'll
yeah.
emphasize it a little bit more. This is why it's important.
Yeah, getting introduced to them and things like that, then it was just they never mentioned culture, but I think it was, yeah, like I never saw race really, but anyways, I think closer to that second, yeah. So anyways, we just focused on converting. Like I knew I was a little like we're both shy about the marriage because I don't know, it was just you're waiting for me, or I don't know, like it was just like because I don't know how to explain that part, but you have something you're gonna go. You said you were gonna talk about something. Oh, you
I,
talked to the local masjid. We talk about
yeah. So after that, when she was
everyone
ready to
okay?
convert,
I don't know.
yeah, after that, when she was
Weird.
ready to convert, I spoke to the imam at the local masjid, and he was like, yeah, no problem, you can bring her in next month, this date. I was like, okay, great. The date came, but that imam himself wasn't available, so he sent one of his colleagues, and this was like a funny interaction between me and the colleague. So, but when I brought her over to the local masjid, with I also like I think we also wanted the sisters to be there because it's like a really good moment. And then the other imam, the colleague imam, took me to the side. And I know some of my friends I think was there. I've told them before, but he took me to the side and he was like, just I'm always open and just tell me, and I'm genuinely, and which was a great gesture, and I appreciate the gesture. And he's very like open and honest with it. He's like, oh, are you guys dating? Are you guys this and that? And I was like naive and oblivious at the time. Like I wasn't like, this wasn't my intention. My intention was just, okay, I just need to represent Islam as best as possible after she's reverted. She has sisters, things will be okay. Right? So I was like, no, 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 that's not the case. We were co-workers, we work together. She's just interested in Islam and converting, and that's it.
Yes.
Right? And she was like, okay. I was like, okay, it's fine. Right? And then my intention was to set up like a sort of a support system for you with sisters.
Yeah, but I think you're missing like that happened and everything like that. But we on the before the conversion, we did talk. Like I think 2-3 weeks prior about marriage. Like we actually did talk about that, but you were still very like it was not like I'm hungry for marriage. It was just like future plans because we had, yeah, it came out, but you're not, because men see a
What do
non-Mus-
men see?
non-Muslims, they're like, oh yeah, like but this is not the case.
Yeah.
You take barriers mentally, but then you have to place those physical, like not you were not attracted. That's the thing. I even asked you to this day. Okay, sorry, this is too much blunt, but even to this day, I asked you like, did you have any sort of inclination of liking me? And you're like, no,
Yeah, to be like
nothing.
people might find this hard to
Yeah, like
believe.
people like this is
Like,
real stuff.
yeah, like you guys might find it hard to believe,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm damaged. Maybe I'm emotionally damaged or something.
Yeah.
I don't feel these feelings.
Yeah.
It would be great,
No, but
according to some guys, but
yeah.
I just didn't at the time either.
Yeah.
At the time, like maybe it was because of what I went through. That's a different podcast, but maybe because of what I went through, and I just, that emotional part of me was gone.
Yeah. So, yeah, you were just very logistical. Okay, bring the sisters there. You told your mom about it because you were very just, yeah, like, but
I was close with my mom.
Yeah.
I liked interacting. She liked hearing things about Islam from me. I was just I was
so
excited to tell my mom,
not,
like, oh, this is
but
another
we
girl.
had to bring it up for some
My mom,
reason.
yeah, no, because my mom, I brought it up because my mom was so easy with you.
But you never,
I don't know if I brought it up.
no, because
You brought it up, right?
no, I
Yeah, I didn't bring it up. I just found it
No,
weird that my mom was
okay.
okay with this random, white girl.
We were so interested, like we kept talking about us only we were like Islam, and then showing you places of Toronto that you never seen, but in public spaces. Like we went to different areas of just but not dates. It was just like uh I people will not
You
believe
came with
us.
questions all the time.
Yeah, I had
Like it wasn't
paper.
just like
Yeah,
a.
we never. It
She had like a paper. Yeah, she had a pen. She had a list of questions. I even gave her a book. I think it was a Seal Nectar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no there's nothing. Okay,
Yeah, this is
I
public
can't
meeting. There's
explain.
nothing.
Yeah,
This is
nobody.
this is
Only
public
Allah
meeting.
knows.
Yeah, this is not like this. Like
Okay, so
yeah,
then, so like because I always wanted a person since I was very young, God centric. So this boyfriend, the first question, like, oh, this guy's makes fun of religion, like that just kept replaying in my head because I've always wanted someone to talk about God often. So I really began this not attraction, but just yeah, like it makes sense to be with this guy forever because of. So I just, and same with you probably, like eventually, like the passion is here to continuously talk about it because boyfriends I think would shut it off, or like how even for parents, right, their mom really passionate about something culturally gets shut down. Oh, stop, like it, things like that. But
yeah,
like the fact that we fed each other information, like kept going back and forth
yeah.
intellectually, even I don't know if we ever talked about you were never
We
open
did.
up. You never opened up. You were just you know, I just tell everyone my life stories.
I kind of suppressed a lot of.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
used to.
So anyways, we're
Uh,
married. I'll just say that now, I guess. Like I don't know if we want to, like there's okay, yes, there's a lot actually.
yeah, we went through like a brief, like when our process of marriage. Most of our friends know our process of marriage was extremely simple. She had a shift that day at Canadian Tire. I didn't. It was my day off.
Yeah, we got married on lunch break.
Yeah, her
But
lunch break. It was like a 30-minute lunch
but
break.
we need to talk about a few things, sir.
Oh, what do we need to talk about?
So let's go into the marriage meet like culture, like really hitting
Yes.
me. Yeah.
What you? Oh, like being assimilating?
No. Okay, yes. Okay. So after okay. Okay. No, don't put this in there, okay? But just
Okay.
I I was like brown guys. No, but anyways. No. I love funny.
That's
No.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah, but it's true and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't
Okay,
say
good.
much. Okay, so basically yeah. Okay. Okay.
What part of marriage
Okay.
do you want
So
culture you
as
want to talk
okay,
about?
so like everything is like there's I guess no shaitan whispers, okay? Like everything is like smooth sailing. But then the day I convert. So no, was it beforehand? Yeah, okay. So there's this big thing. Okay. So I convert and then I know that the marriage would be coming up soon. You were leaving for potential school in Islamabad. So
Yeah.
basically like yeah, so my next step potentially is marriage, but we don't have a timeline. Well, we do have a timeline when you anyways.
But I want to preface this that you didn't have any support system. Like I was trying to establish one for you,
Mhm.
because my idea of helping somebody through the Deen, through Islam, was to not leave them be after they've converted.
Mhm.
So my thing was to establish a support system, because I knew I was going to Islamabad, which didn't work out, but that's a different thing. But
That screensaver. Okay, go ahead.
right now, because my idea was that before I leave, you need to have a good support system of sisters that will help you maintain and keep you stable.
Because it wasn't going to be your mom and dad necessarily because
Yeah.
of that cultural um stuff.
Yeah, there was like, I mean, in the beginning there was like a cultural boundary. My mom, like Desi
No,
parents, yeah, like Desi parents, like to be honest with you, South Asian culture, like we kind of like idolize and over idolize reverts and converts to the point that we don't actually logistically and practically, emotionally, spiritually help, right? We kind of, be like, okay, they're Jannati, so like, oh, they're automatically going to Jannah, right? As if like there's converted and there's no support after the fact. So my reliance was on many of the sisters that I knew from before, right? And I knew they were going to do a great job because they were doing a great job with themselves, right? And they were confident in the religion, they were confident in Islam, and I knew that they were going to transfer this over to you.
And there was a system in place every Sunday.
Yeah.
They would teach me Arabic,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah. and they're like, that they open almost half of the day I converted, and they're like, you're gonna know this. I'm like, wow, subhanallah.
And now
Um,
you do.
yeah,
And now you
alhamdulillah,
recite yourself, and now, yeah, you have your own
alhamdulillah.
things set in motion. Alhamdulillah.
But sorry, I said but
It's crazy.
no, I said no. So yeah, going so closer to my conversion, I think Shaitan whispers, like yeah. So and but it still like wasn't sitting because he was going to Pakistan for a long duration. So all of his family had left, and I was with the sister. So I didn't really get bombarded by culture, but I did meet them. Your mom was just really smiling and things like that. I wasn't again scared or anything, or like yeah, it was just pretty chill. But then I think yeah, when you came back, when we went for one walk, when he like we would take walks prior, like as a non-Muslim and a Muslim, we would walk and talk about spiritual topics. But as we were walking around the neighborhood, I'm like, this is not okay. Like we need to get married. Like even though it was very casual and obviously just catching up after he arrived back, it still was like no, like so we were like rushing into it, but it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, we were like trying, like I had like more family involved, and we were trying to arrange everything appropriately, quickly,
Yeah.
and you know, uh, because you want to stay away from any sort of, or prevent yourself from any like uh situations where shaitan will have upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, to be real honest with you, because of how I am, I never really like, that wasn't a fear for me,
Mm.
which is why I had no issue involving anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, I'm doing this. I told my friends on the day of, like some, I think a week before, like
Yeah,
something.
but we did make it swift, but we're like, let's stop talking to each other. But that did
Yeah,
not work. So like, yeah, he arrived, and then we were like, let's separate. This is fitna and stuff. But in reality, I needed support. Like
yeah.
even though the sisters, they don't know me from the very beginning,
Which
and
was my mistake, I would say. My mistake was that I was without proper information and knowledge that I had. My mistake was to just leave you alone. That was a problem because I didn't keep intention into account.
we both thought Islamically it was like we're so pious, we're just never gonna talk. It's gonna be through. I don't know if it was through email, but it's like when you're read, yeah, like it wasn't hurtful, but because we both were like, but the guilt of being like together, even if it was, we never had like, yeah, we had to realize that we were. Allah may be still pleased with us because of how.
At this point, I think at this point, because we were given like a certain image of Islam. At least me, I was given a certain image of Islam, and to me, there was no any other way to kind of support that same goal, right? So, for example, we were managing two different cultures, right? We were managing your culture and mine, right? So, from my point of view, it was like, okay, from what I know is that we just don't speak at all. That would be the best thing. I had a very rigid view of Islam,
Mhm.
right? Because of that rigid view, uh, this was like this was a premature decision.
Rigid about haram and halal, but not rigid in your character. You were really not like, you weren't like,
That's what I mean. I was two people at once, right? This was my issue. I was two people at the same time, and if as I got put into like real life situations, being those two people at once became extremely difficult, right? And I knew one thing is going to eventually fail. Like I couldn't be, my rigid self is going to fail the representation I want to give of Islam to everybody else, your family, you, and everybody around, right? So I had to come to the conclusion that look, what I was in Canadian Tire, making everybody feel comfortable, bringing gifts, guys or girls, it didn't matter. My intentions were there. Allah knew my intentions. I was making everybody comfortable. If they felt easy and peaceful enough to inquire with me about Islam, and they learned about Islam, like I spoke to anybody and everybody, and nobody had any issues, right? It was only when I came back and I struggled with two people.
you struggled because of the halal and haram, right? Like you
Yeah.
really like, sorry,
Yeah.
but putting the ankle, yeah, like the pants, you had
Yeah.
coal and like
Yeah.
the you believed, I don't think you could touch your beard back then. There's different rulings. Okay, we're not trying to be like
Yeah,
talking about
this
rulings, but I'm
like this.
saying
Yeah,
that because we were like, because it's taught in mainstream, there's one way to, when there's a girl involved, there's
Yeah.
one way, and that's
Yeah.
to cut off from from like a practicing perspective.
Yeah,
Like if
there's ways to get around it. There's
there's a
ways to keep things
balance.
secure. Yeah, there's a balance. Islam gives us ways to keep things
Mhm.
secure and keep things safe. And I didn't know that. Like I wasn't fully into that at the time because I had no practical experience. This is my first
Mm.
exposure to practically applying like what I knew,
Mhm.
right? And then there was a disconnect because you can't just apply theory verbatim. Like you can't, like what I knew in my head, I couldn't just go out and
Yeah.
just say the same things, behave in that manner, and everything will be fine because it
Mhm.
wasn't,
Mhm.
right? Like I had to speak to your parents, and I
Mhm.
got like a shouting, and I got like a, it was like I couldn't say anything, right?
Mhm.
I had to be. This is the thing where we connected with culture, okay? Amongst ourselves, amongst our brothers and sisters, and as believers, I think we need to make sure that this is a human to human interaction,
Mm.
right? Within that human to human interaction, this is, I think many times I forgot this aspect too, where the Prophet ﷺ, for the first 40 years, he did many human to human interactions, right? He developed that sense of credibility with everybody around him. I kind of have forgotten that, right? I forgot the idea that, okay, look, my intentions can be good. Like why am I assuming bad of myself before I even get into an action,
Mm.
right? If I get into an action and it becomes problematic and my intentions become problematic, I'll back out,
Yeah.
right? This is where the self discipline came in,
Yeah.
the self awareness came in,
Mhm.
and this is where I was like, okay, I was beginning to like not have the two personalities,
Yeah.
right?
So then from there, you could have been a better advocate for, uh, or like to cross cultures, like
Yeah,
to actually be able to be representative, like hey, I'm the guy. Like you were able to eventually, yeah, like confront. Yeah, we were able to see each other's, uh, yeah, get family involved. Yeah, it was just, you need access to get married. You can't be yeah. How the
yeah,
because we, I think we viewed ourselves as Muslim to Muslim, born
yeah.
Muslim, but in reality I was a convert, so there's different rulings.
Yeah, it was like it
Yeah.
was also like sensitive situations and like
Yeah.
all of these things I didn't take into account before.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, she's a Muslim now, done
Mercy,
deal.
yeah, mercy you can still do in yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not like yeah, like usually there's an extreme of like Muslim, like non-practicing, they take the non-Muslim and it's just a whirlwind, but
mm.
it's, there's clarity and mercy, compassion.
Which these are things that we're applying
Yeah.
now.
So anyways, like uh the Desi culture, so I guess we can, the Desi culture, yes, it was very his mom would smile a lot and like really warm and like extremely like just so cute. Your mom is very cute, but sorry, like she just you know, like she, yeah, there's, I just felt a lot of guilt, like I don't know the language, I don't, it just something like you could choose somebody else, and I think I struggled a lot with that. You can choose somebody else, you know, like you don't have to like you don't have to choose me because I don't know these dishes, or like the, the meal, meal the
Yeah,
meals,
this is one
the
thing.
cooking, or like the
Yeah,
language, or just how silent the culture I felt was. Like I met your whole say these things.
yeah,
Yeah, I just met your whole family, and I'm like, there there is a lack of warmth. Like it's like a foreign, like a foreign. Like I just felt like I wasn't like,
you feel like the other,
yeah.
like the outsider.
But they didn't. It only like mom's warmth and your dad. Like they really were. Like they were. I don't know if you trained them well. You know,
Mhm.
like let. I don't know if you want to talk about your training.
That'll be on a different podcast. That might be with the podcast. One of my close friends. I'll do a podcast with him, and I want to go through like how what from a guy's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
what we had to do and the things we went through with along with like marriage proposals with our parents
Mm-hmm.
and all those like heated discussions and what it took to get to the point.
Yeah, that your parents were that way,
Yeah.
because for the most part, it's like even I did feel like I just sought sorry, I sought out expectations like right away when in reality there's leeway for like there's a whole like there's a whole but the expectations are just like creeping in from my subconscious, but they weren't really there. Like you always try to, because I came from like you're coming from being a non-Muslim and having mental health issues, um, thought patterns, self-esteem, self-worth. All these are in the midst of being under construction. So to see how prominent a culture is, it's gonna how it's shaping into a mold, but it's not really the focus, right?
Yeah.
But I always had I don't know what to do, funny.
Like this, this
Because I never complete my sentences. Like
I think because this was a thing, and this might like continue going off based of what you're saying. This the main thing to take from this for the culture was that when we interacted as a brother, as a sister, as a guy and a girl, when we interacted, I didn't interact with any cultural experience in mind. My bias was not how I was raised.
yeah, that
That's not my
was
bias.
very peaceful, yes.
Yeah, I don't interact with people like that. Right?
And the two sisters were not of that nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't really it was just only when I think your mom but she was just too happy, but like I just
This
like
is part of the thing, right?
you're gonna see your mom and you're like you must love your mom and then I have to fill those like but it's not we because when we moved in together we I think we'll not end here but when we moved together it was pure Islam alhamdulillah and
Alhamdulillah.
there's no symbol of
Like, yeah,
yeah
this is not to say we don't accept culture at all.
yeah
It's just that we don't lead our life.
yeah
Yeah, we don't lead our life.
Very
We don't experience. We don't react with anything other than Islam, right? And Islam kind of encouraged, for me personally, and I was learning this as you were going, was to bring the aspect of mercy in my dealings,
Mhm.
right? That includes that I have to sometimes give up things that I wanted to do, right? That I had to give up some of the things I had in my head. I had to adapt. This is a natural idea of rahmah, of mercy, that I'm not dealing like this is the only thing that I extremely dislike about a culture or people when they relive life or they lead with how they were raised, right? If I led life with how I was raised, I would never be able to represent Islam properly to you from the very beginning. Because I wouldn't have this concept of, okay, it doesn't matter from what background you're from. Allah asked me to be merciful to you. And mercy comes before my desire, right? So within those interactions, the what helped me keep the balance was that I wasn't reactionary based on how I was raised, and I don't agree with how I was raised. Like for many of the guys out there, for South Asian guys, I think you guys we really need to collectively look at how we were raised, and then look into Islam, then study Islam, lead life and family with Islam. That means you guys got to change a lot of your stuff.
yeah
Like, to be honest with you, I have to change a lot of my stuff, and that's not a bad thing.
yeah so that's why I came to a finished product in a
Yeah.
sense where you already worked within the home, had racism talks, like why
Mhm.
racism is bad. You led with justice as your base, so that there could be this tranquility into something. So
Yeah.
I always believe like one of my marriage advice, which nobody asked, so it's like kind of controversial, but it's just that like you need to when you lead with justice, tranquility will happen, and that's the in the Quran it says the tranquility is the purpose of marriage.
Yeah.
But justice is where you break through to get
Yeah.
to tranquility. So whether that's like, hey, like mom, I think we have to move out, uh, because this is like you create justice and then your
Yeah.
tranquility will come in your marriage.
Yeah.
So you worked really hard to have justice in the home before I even entered. So I had your mom in this final form in a sense where she just was like very light and prayed and was like at her final form because you worked in the home.
Yeah.
So I never was bombarded by culture to the extent that other uh, sisters have to deal with,
Yeah.
right?
Which I think is very unfortunate.
And you have been the protector of the the you establish something so that there's a right way to go about any disagreement, like any sort of flow has to come through that.
Yeah, like it becomes like a natural process.
I mean, not
Right.
that man,
Like it becomes like a natural pathway, right? Any disagreement, any problem, anything that occurs, everybody's naturally flexible because we're not following a specific culture. This is again the reason we relate this to culture is because that everything that we did to get up to this point, the way we behaved, the way we reacted to things, it didn't have any trace of culture behind it. There was no bias behind it. That's why it's able to work. Like now, like now you're into like now you're very easily like into like South Asian stuff, right? Like from the dresses, from the food. Now you eat the food more than I do.
I like the music too, you know, Coke Studio.
Yeah, like Coke Studio and stuff like that. Now she's like this isn't like, oh, it's a win-win for South Asian culture or this and that, or like this is not a competition. We're not competing against cultures or Western culture, secular culture versus South Asian culture. No, no, no. Yeah, this is we live our life Islamically, and we try to keep what's the good and try to avoid the bad. It's really simple in that manner. Like, but in order for you to live like that, you have to put Islam first over everything, right? And sometimes that required to have difficult conversations with my parents, with your parents, with everybody. Difficult conversations happened. We didn't. It's not to say we didn't have tough times. There were a lot of tough times, but the end result kind of made all those tough times worthwhile, right? Because a lot of this is why we emphasize heavily, like heavily, because culture will make you rigid. It made me rigid, and it made me have dual personalities. And you will have an internal conflict, and even worse, you will create an internal conflict in someone else, and you don't want to be responsible for that because many times you don't know they're having one. And many times you don't know that you're the reason they're having one, right? I could have been a great guy. A great guy is not enough to stop somebody from having an internal conflict. I have to be the right guy. I have to prioritize Islam. I have to prioritize Allah. I have to prioritize seeking pleasure of Allah. I have to prioritize being in service to Him and being in service to people. That was my main, just our basic of everything. My main two things were I need to be as best as I possibly can in servitude towards Allah and as best as I possibly can in servitude towards people. That automatically kind of aligned my intentions. I didn't have any ill intentions when I was talking to you about Islam or before marriage or even like before conversion. I was like, okay, this person generally wants to inquire and understand about Islam. That's how I treated everybody in that workplace. That's how I treated everybody around me, right? Like the messages I got from other people was like, oh, don't interact with this girl, don't interact with the guy this guy, or don't interact with girls, period. You'll go into this problem, you'll go into this problem, prevent this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't even think about that stuff. I didn't even go towards that. Like, why are you going towards it? I'm like, my intention is like, I want to see everybody in my life that I interact with, from you, from my workplace, from the friends that I have. I want to, like, it would mean the world to me that if I, not even the world, because the world, dunya is like not that big. It would mean something more than the world, right? That if I see everybody I knew in my life in Jannah having a great time, and it would be even better if they were at a higher rank than I am. Like this is like a genuine feeling for me. Like, I don't, this sounds like cheesy or might be like cringy, but it does, like, this is the main concern. I do everything in my power, in my capacity, to make sure that happens. So that's why when I'm talking to people, and this is why I don't wonder, like, I don't get it either. Well, okay, when we used to, like, people used to talk to me and whatnot, right? I when I talk to people, when I hear people's concerns, and sort of like what our relationship and how it was before and how we got, that kind of trained me and helped my intention align in this way was that I genuinely don't have any other intention other than the fact that, look, I want to help you in such a way that you're able to see Allah, you're able to go to Jannah, you're able to spend time in Jannah, have the greatest time of your life, like have everything you ever wanted. Like, and this is where I slowly understood why the Prophet ﷺ, like, why we meant so much more, like so much to him, right? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And like this is why, like, before this I didn't understand. Before this, yeah, I used to hear things like, okay, yeah, the Prophet ﷺ always make dua for us. You missed us. You wanted to make. And I'm like, it was only after our marriage. It was only after what we went through, the things we went through, we got to this point. I was like, you know what, like I get it, because I saw my teacher, like so many people that I knew that like would break down into tears just to hear the idea that, okay, one day I would get to stand in front of the Prophet ﷺ and say, and kind of like just unload and just be like, "No, I did everything, like I tried to like embody you around me, and then when I die, it'll be just like, that's the hope, inshallah, right? That's the hope, that you get to like stand in front of the Prophet ﷺ and stand in front of Allah and be like, you know, I tried my best to do anything I do. Obviously, there's mistakes and this and that, but like, yeah, like this is like the culmination of everything that our story and your conversion and your reversion, and how you went from like step by step from whether to be like to wearing hijab, practicing full time, implementing Quran recitation, understanding, seeking knowledge, reading books, so many of these things. Now, people mistake you from being born into Islam, right?
Oh, just people have said that, like, oh, it looks like no, but it's not. I don't know. It's just something I got told a few times, but why don't I mention
You look
this?
like of Syrian origin.
No,
Like,
but
yeah, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all of this has, like, I think helped a lot and shaped a lot of what we do now.
yeah, like opening. Yeah, we open doors. Like,
Yeah,
or just everyone has a starting point,
yeah,
and you don't know where it could lead.
yeah. And like this is
So
like I think, and this maybe we'll conclude on this, but because this is like very like this is very necessary, right? Because this is not. uh Yeah, I usually don't cry on camera, but like,
yeah,
right,
I see
uh,
it coming.
right. But like, I think people really need to understand that this is something that is one of, if not the most crucial thing for people to participate and have access to. Right? I didn't have anybody before, like her, or like talking to anybody, or before my daughter. I didn't like. There was a lot of like mental issues in my head. And I don't want to make this about myself, because this is about like our thing. But like, for us to now continue and try to give access and be there and help, a lot of what we went through kind of shaped us for that. And this is the most important thing you can have in your life. And if you have something like this, I don't think you should prioritize anything other than this.
What's this?
Okay, and I know everybody can come to their own understanding at their own time, and at this time, I just understood. Allah brought me to this point to understand this, was that when I always contemplated about the love that the Prophet ﷺ has for the people around him, for the people he hasn't even seen yet, the people who haven't been even born yet, they're not even gonna see him, and he spent all night, feet swelling, he wept, and like so many things that he did even he's going to do on the day of judgment, and knowing how scary and how like crazy of a time the day of judgment is going to be, and he's still worried about others. And then I see people like uh alienating each other as believers. I see people not being merciful. I see people now that are so quick to excommunicate. They're so quick to insult. They're so quick to let go of this idea of having a righteous community. Let go of this idea that having these friends and these brothers and these sisters around and being comfortable, learning from each other, be believers. I see people so easily let go of this idea as if like only their and their families are it. I genuinely don't. This is the conclusion where I came to. I genuinely do not understand, because everybody has struggles, so many before marriage. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here because I was like extremely confused. Right, I was extremely confused. I was done. I was lost. Right, like this. I had no one to talk to, guy or girl. I had nobody, and worse, other than that, many people that were really close to me, like they didn't want nothing from me, right? So this was at a point where I was like just trying to understand the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this was at a core time where, at a very intimate time, I asked Allah, look, I just want to be like him, which is Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is like, you know, I didn't realize what I was asking for, right? Because it's a very lonely, extremely lonely, like ride, right? And the way we were together and we went through experiences now that we're married, and the way we are, our goals, our ambitions, and how we want to be with other people, what we want to display to other people, the amount of love and mercy and understanding and a community. Like, this is how people heal. This is what people need. This is the most thing people need. And I learned vulnerability from us. I learned understanding from us. I learned not even not being naive. I learned being present from us. I learned, being able to genuinely have a conversation with somebody from us. I learned being able to be there for somebody. I learned how to have an adult, mature conversation from us. And a lot of this happened communally, right? By myself, I understood the religion to an extent, but by myself, I was a goner. Like,
Stickler? No.
yeah, even though I was a stickler, but I was genuinely a goner. If like Allah at that point gave the right experiences at the right time. Before that, I would have been dust. Because I don't think we can say that thing online, but dust. But I think if you would take away one thing from this, it is this: that you don't shy away from a community. Don't shy away from the people that are extending their hand, and then just not extend yours at the same time.
Well, yeah, like you mean you mean like in the dust? What's the word?
Like, gone.
Yeah, like gone, meaning that if a hardship were to, you would just like.
I would get easily blown away.
That's what I mean. Like when, like it's the naivety that. No, but I don't think you felt what you needed to. Like it's just like you kept on working outer shell. I don't think you're able to
Like,
face the pain. Like you just started that journey. I think a few months prior
Yeah.
to meeting.
Yeah.
But
I don't think the honor you hold, right? There's one thing to use what you know, and you yourself make the decision to use what you know for the benefit. But there's a whole nother thing where Allah chooses you to make somebody else get into their prime form. That without you, I wouldn't be me. Right? I don't think you understand that honor. That out of all the people in the world, Allah chose you to save me. Which is like it's wild if you think about it. But like, I've already thought about it. That's why I'm saying it. But Like, I think this is like an understanding that needs to, like, this is like a self-reflection, self-awareness, where whatever you did, everything you did, everything you do, everything you tolerate, everything you be patient for, everything that you are, and everything what others see of me. If others see, okay, I'm resilient, if others see, okay, I don't cry much, if others see that I'm like, oh, I can talk a lot, or I can therapize, or I can do blah 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 blah, right? It's because the Allah chose you to be part of this, and Allah chose you to be part of my life, to be able to do it, right? If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be like this. Majority of the people that we have now, they will probably like throw me to the side. To be honest, all the close friends that I have now, they will be like, okay, this guy's a great person as an acquaintance, but not like I don't want to talk to this guy, right? Like this is weird, right? Both the guys and the girls that we know, they're like, oh, this guy's a little weird. I might be still a little weird
Yeah,
to the
like
girls.
he was so cute. Like his my first impressions, like you just so innocent. Like because I think it was really like a high school. Like yeah, he not like you just
Yeah, like I think you need to internalize that point for yourself and for your own self value and self worth and the quality that you bring. I only think you look at it from one perspective, that okay, what am I bringing? But it's the idea that Allah chose you to be in this position, that He decided, He willed, and He knew is what is best, and He decided that this guy, in order for him to get to this point, I can't do it myself. Like I can't do it myself. I can't do it. My parents couldn't do it. I had teachers many times, but I was still struggling. I had all these avenues around me, which still did not take out the struggle until we got married. Right? This is why the opinions that we have. This is why the opinions that we have of, like, marriage, of what love is and what all these things are. This is why we have, like, not the most normal, not the most or normative, not the most like general common opinions, right? Because these things are deeper than they actually sound, right? This is not, life is deeper than it actually sounds, right? And this is what kind of, like, she is what kind of helped me understand everything that I do today, all the interaction that I do today, right? Okay, so that's why I think you should know that. You should understand that you're not just another person in somebody else's life. You're a person chosen by Allah to be in this person's life. So everything good that I do, automatically by extension, whether somebody says it or not, it's extended to you, right? Because I wouldn't be able to do these good things realistically without you. We're gonna cue the song "Without You." Sorry.
I love my fun.
So, do you have any concluding thoughts? That's a whole lot of shorts from what I said. The cameras are still recording, right? Hopefully they are, because this has been a bomb.
Funny peak, nahi.
So, do you want to conclude?
No, there's many times like you have little tears in your eyes. Like it's too glossy, I think.
I think that's the oil that I put on.
No.
Guys, let me know. Almond oil, it's good for your beard. I heard it's good for dryness, but I don't have much of a beard going for me right now. But yes, I think that's your concluding thoughts.
No. I can't do it today. Oh god. No, I can't really do it because
This has been a long podcast.
yeah, it's a long podcast. But just
Inshallah, we'll do part 2.
no. Not my funny.
Part 2 will just be an hour of concluding thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how to explain it. Like I saw like I'm not that like I'm not gonna give back to him. Like I can't compliment you.
But
Like,
I don't
it
think,
was
well,
too much. No, but I can't compliment. Okay, wait. But
that's not
I
necessary.
just there's a temperament that's too scary for me. Like you're just too in your you don't. It's just your temperament is very still really calm, and I don't. It's just not fake. Like
Is it eerie?
yeah. Like I don't know. You just like have an innocent. Like, you just like there's no true anger unless somebody deceives. but there's just something like a monster inside that just tame. I don't know, something like, yeah, I just don't know how you tame the monster in there, or like you don't, you can't.
This I what if okay, what if I say I became friends with it? This is why I resonate with Naruto so much because Naruto has the fox inside. Okay, I didn't shun it. The monster you're talking about, I didn't shun it. I didn't antagonize it. I didn't make it my enemy. I just acknowledged its existence. And I was, you know what? Now I am who I am. I'm friends with the monster. I don't know what that song is, but
Yeah,
this
but it's just, yeah, I guess I didn't.
is why you should watch Naruto.
But there there's there's no. Yeah,
Hope you guys enjoyed. Need water?
hmm?
Need water?
No, there's just a fire, like whatever that Naruto thing, but it's just that we you get kicked and we just keep going. So
That's the point. That's like that sort of been all of life. And I think that's necessary.
we have a 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah. Which is
That's
another
she's
podcast.
gangster, you know. She
Yeah.
Asma. She's like, what? But she really is
But inshallah,
a doll baby. Okay, sorry. Bye bye.
inshallah,
Good night.
we'll see you
Sleep
on the next
tight.
one. I mean, I'll see you. I'll see you
And
for sure.
Queen Rafia.
Yeah. Queen Rafia.
Ajoy
And we
daw.
have a little debut of our daughter. You want
Oy.
to say hi to the camera? Hey.
Oh, she's a beautiful cook.
We'll see you guys on the next one. As always, this has been Achaji. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you guys for watching the whole thing if you did. We will see you guys. You guys have a nice day. Take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
What a
wa barakatuh.